2005's F.E.A.R, a game filled with guns, death, blood, violence, a child, and most importantly, martial arts. You can do bicycle kicks, you can do slide takedowns, you can do like a jump spin kick thing. I mean, it's got everything. In this challenge, I'll try to beat F.E.A.R using only what my mama gave me: a pair of hands, a pair of feet, and a pair of balls made out of pure steel, because we are starting this challenge immediately in the hardest difficulty. Now keep in mind, I've never played this game before, but it's 2005. Like, how hard can this game really be? Let's begin. So the game starts off with this guy, the main villain, in federal prison. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure what the is going on, but spoiler alert, I haven't beat this game yet, and oh boy, you'll find out why, and you'll find out why at the end of this video. Alright, so this little girl possesses this man, and now he's able to control this army of replicants. They're basically like the clone troopers from Star Wars, but actually useful and deadly. This guy gets his head nearly chopped off, and then these two men, well, I don't think they can move anymore.
A battalion? What are we supposed to do against 1,000 super soldiers?
You got me, buddy. Me. They might have 100, 200, 300 men, but you got me. Our goal was simple: put a bullet in between the eyes of that man. Or in my case, shove my foot in between his eyes and take him out. Simple enough. 4 quarters, 3 pennies, and a dime and a dream. Let's do this shit. Immediately upon firing my weapon, I wondered what bullets were inside of this gun to make a planet-sized crater into that wall. I'm kind of glad I won't be using any weapons, since I don't think anyone deserves a hole this big put into them. These hands were ready for action. I was ready to plant 5 knuckles onto someone's face. In order to test how powerful my punches were, I tried to punch this rat. I say tried because, as you can see, I couldn't keep up. But eventually, I cornered it and... oh yeah, this is nice. The door opened itself, dickhead broke a window, and this man was being real spooky. The last time I saw someone walk like that, he stomped on my face and forced me to call him daddy, so I was very curious to see what was in store for me this time. Luckily, the only thing that got slammed this time was a door in my face. I couldn't break this lock using my meat smackers, so I had to resort to a more primitive option. I came across this man, and judging by the blood splatter and the way he was positioned, I could confidently say that this man died of a heart attack. I went upstairs, and the man that I was in charge of tracking down knocked me the f*** out. But for whatever reason, he didn't kill me. I got up like nothing happened, went about my business, and came across another crime scene. This guy over here, I mean, do I even have to explain what happened? The man was clearly working, and I'm guessing his shoelaces were untied. He tripped, smashed his head against the wall, and died on impact. I flipped this lever, which caused my entire team to get flipped inside out by this little child. I didn't know their names, but there I go, disrespectfully putting my dirty boot on top of the skeleton that used to be my teammate. I really don't know what else I could have done to help this man, to be honest. And there he is, my first enemy. I came up behind him and divorced him completely from life before he even had a chance to understand what just happened. For his buddy, I wasn't as harsh, as all I did was give him an ass whoop he'll never be able to remember, since he's dead. So at this point in the game, I was still trying to discover how to actually do the other fighting moves. Punching is nice and all, but I needed some variety. I needed a victim to practice on, and bingo bango, there he was. I hit him with the good old bicycle kick and pedaled my feet into his cranium. This poor soul got the entire Tour de France pedaled into the front of his chest and passed away. I quickly realized that this bicycle kick was a force to be reckoned with. Sadly, not all cyclists have a happy ending, since shortly after the killing spree, I got gunned down. The main issue I was having at the moment was just how horrible I am with the keyboard and mouse. Me being originally a console player, this transition from a nerd to a virgin redditor was just not easy. I find myself constantly clicking the wrong keycaps or just simply not being fast enough, which honestly makes up about 75% as to why I die in this game. The other 25%, it's just me being stupid. Oh, let's not forget about the slow-mo in this game. Honestly, it's a lifesaver if you know how to use it. When I turned this bad boy on, I thought I'd be moving like at breakneck speeds, freaking dodging and weaving bullets. But in reality, no, it's nothing like that. This slow-mo is something I'm gonna have to learn how to use effectively if I want any shot at beating this challenge. But yeah, no, remember earlier how I was talking about the size of that bullet hole? Well, I feel like they make everything in this game look so much more violent than it needs to be. Like look at this crime scene, right? It looks pretty bad. And then when you zoom out and you see the crater-sized holes in the wall, yeah, it paints a different story. Everything looks so much worse. So, you know, I'm walking around this facility trying to figure out where to go. And I had the unfortunate experience of getting a grenade thrown at me, and goddamn, it's like the explosion causes a freaking earthquake inside of the building. Like, I'm surprised the whole facility didn't just collapse due to the sheer force of that explosion. Like, I'm talking this room was shaking more than some ass at a college party. But yeah, after a few deaths in this area, I was starting to realize that, yeah, maybe this game isn't as easy as I thought it was. But it's okay though, because with every turn, as you guys already know, I learned from my mistakes. And then I had this successful run. I came behind this guy, hit him with the 1-2 heart stopper, then I pedaled to the metal this guy straight out of existence, and then comboed this guy so goddamn hard that I saw him ascend to heaven as well as come straight back down to hell. I tried to use slow motion to bicycle kick this man's head off, but failed miserably as you can see, but it's okay, since in the end, I made it past this part and got to do a little bit of training using this man's ass. You guys are about to see my famous one-shot kill. Let me explain what happened here. I hit him so hard in the chest that in less than a nanosecond, his lungs exploded, his brain turned off, his legs turned to jelly, he changed gender, and then he died. The last guy in this area really pissed me off, so I hit his genitalia so hard he fell over and cracked his head on the wall. I was ready to take on the world, but sadly the world introduced me to fall damage. Nice. There were a lot of men here. We had these 3 bozos who walk in, and then the rest that were outside. How I was going to do this using just my taijutsu, well, it was beyond me. But I had a dream, and with every dream comes a mission, and with every mission comes a plan. And here's my plan. I ambushed the first 3 men from above. Just like Batman, I swooped down and severed this man's spine with 2 uppercuts. I then quickly knocked out his 2 pals. I say knocked out very loosely because unlike Batman, I'll admit that I really do kill these men. When it came to the enemies outside, however, well, I found out that running at them hoping for the best doesn't exactly work out. Doing an aerial attack on the first few seemed to work best most of the time, but that outside, man, that outside was something else. I think the reason I die all comes down to just me being impatient and doing things carelessly. So that's what I plan on changing. This time, instead of the Batman ambush, I made everyone from the outside spot me first. This made the outside crew come towards me instead of staying outside. And then I went around the warehouse unforgivingly leaving a couple kids without a father. Since most of the enemies that were outside now came inside, I could easily just run past them without being spotted and get out of this disgusting area. Yeah, something happened here. Something bad. The little child from before threw a tantrum since she found out I was trying to locate Mr. Bad Guy, but I didn't know what to do other than just admire how awesome she looked. Look at that. But then I got launched out of the window due to an explosion, and then my game froze. It's alright, I mean, it happens. This time I went up to her to try and see the credits of this game a little quicker, but it didn't work. I got launched out of the window and died. Or so I hoped. I was sadly still alive and had to continue on with this adventure time. Luckily for me, everything was pretty tamed after that explosion. I flipped a switch, went to New York City, got shook by the little girl, saw a few union workers taking a small break, climbed a few ladders, bada bing bada boom, did a couple of Liu Kangs here and there, and then tried to open this fence thinking it was the only way to go. I'm so sorry. I'm not this dumb. I know it's hard to believe, but I'm so sorry. Wow, that could have been my head. After a lot, and I mean a lot, of cheek jiggling via my fist and legs, I got stuck. I was getting pummeled straight into the ground, gangbanged from all directions, pissed on, I mean, you name the category, it happened to me. This part really forced me to try and learn how to do more than just a bicycle kick. No. I needed to master the slide kick. It was essential in getting past the next couple of parts. The slide kick allows you to close the gap the enemy had from you, allowing you to slide into their DMs and break some hearts, as well as some ankles. Now, it didn't always work because mostly I just end up punching their kneecaps off, but it allowed me to get low and dirty, and sometimes in life, that's the only way you can win. I thought I beat all of them, but 2 of them came out of nowhere and almost took me out, but my slow motion was on point. Along my journey, I performed what I consider to be a great example as to why the slide is so good in this game. Goddamn. This area introduced me to the man with armor. A nameless man, a scary man, a child kidnapper who I knew just by looking at him. I wouldn't be able to fight, so I just ran past him like the coward I was anytime he would show up. Eventually, after a lot of cowardliness, I got up to an area that I thought was impossible to pass. All it had was a corpse sitting down, and that's it. You know why this wasn't possible? It's because every enemy that comes here was on the high ground and I couldn't jump to them. Literally, there was no way to get up to that railing. I tried every possible way to jump on that railing and get some slapping done, but I literally couldn't. And if that doesn't make it worse, I couldn't progress this part until every single enemy here was dead. So I basically thought this was it. I spawned like 100 times just to die because I couldn't even go anywhere. I was just stuck in this little room absorbing bullets. But then a miracle happened. I noticed I was able to damage the enemy right here on this specific spot. So you bet that I waited right here, waited for the enemies to pass by, and absolutely obliterate them. Eventually every single one was taken out, and luck was just on my side today. Or so I thought, because I'm about to tell you the reason why I haven't beaten this game. After getting my vagina blasted off by a mine explosion, then coming back with slow-mo to blow the vagina off of the mine, I headed outside where I was able to show the game who's boss. Yup, that's right, you're looking at it right. I cheesed the absolute crap out of all these enemies here by punching them through the floor. But it's after this section where I got to what I consider the worst thing I've ever experienced, and currently, as of recording this video, am probably still experiencing. It's a face worse than death in my opinion, and it's something no human should go through. It's an area that had me stop and record for like 5 different times because I was afraid the video was going on for too long and was going to get corrupted. Let me explain. I had this much health and armor to work with. It's not a lot, but it's not unreasonable either. And I also had 1 medical aid left, so I could regen health once. That's it. So I had these guys out here to deal with, as well as a truck that comes in with 3 extra men, one of them being an armored virgin. And if that wasn't bad enough, 2 other enemies come out of each of these doors. So that's 4 more enemies that come out of nowhere. Like, what is this? I tried constantly for a few hours just seeing what works and what doesn't, but man, it feels like I haven't learned a thing. This area provided the enemy with way too much cover and distance from me, so running up to them wasn't exactly a good idea since my ass would get blasted on the spot. And since this is the hardest difficulty, you best believe their aim is on point. If you freaking peek your arm out, you'll somehow get shot in the face. Like, their aim was just ridiculous. But beyond all that, it's the armored guy that was the biggest problem. Honestly, I didn't even know if I could kill him using just melee. Thankfully, since, as I told you before, I just ran past the other armored guys, yeah, well, one of them actually followed me here and got stuck. Upon seeing this, I used this opportunity to figure out how long it would take me to kill this man using melee. To no one's surprise, I couldn't do it. I've been punching him for more than 3 minutes straight, and nothing has happened. Even if I could knock him out, it would literally be impossible for me to do it out here in the open since I just get shot immediately. At this point I said, alright. I guess I have no choice but to use a gun to take out the bootleg juggernaut. I don't want to, but it's literally impossible. I can't do this without that. But that's it. I'm only gonna shoot him with it. You know, you would think, alright, this guy's using a gun. Like, what's the problem now? Yeah, no, it's hard. It's still hard. I'm not done. I'm still stuck. Even using that gun does not make this any easier. There's just way too many men. This is what I've been working on so far. So I run and take out these 3 guys without trying to lose that much health. It works sometimes, but not all the time. I have to tweak it a little bit. Then I immediately pull out my gun and open fire on the big guy. From here, my brain goes numb. I get stuck because I either get blasted by the guys who come out of the door, or I just can't do anything since my health is too low to fight and the enemies are behind cover waiting for me to make the first move. So I end up just being stuck inside of the truck. Quite the problem. Quite the problem. Yeah, this is where I'm at right now in the game. So if any of you F.E.A.R enthusiasts happen to come across this video, I just please write some tips below, man. I don't even know what to do. If you guys see a part 2 as my next upload, just know I'll be very excited, since that means I somehow managed to pass this part. If not, then that's 2 failures in a row, and I just can't have that, not in a row. With that all said, guys, this is all I have for right now. Please subscribe to the channel, comment down below anything you want to see, leave a like, and I'll see you guys hopefully on part 2. Peace out.